And if I can tell one story about one creature, that sort of applies, I think, to the value of all of them having lives that are worth it just for them, not for me, not to make a photograph. These animals aren't out there for my benefit at all. But if I can make good photographs, I can benefit them, I hope.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. That is a way that we could help them.
Mm-hmm.
I think
Mm-hmm.
I think it's important that people respect the wildlife.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Wow, I really enjoyed talking with you, Tom. I
No,
don't want to keep you too long.
well,
Hopefully you're okay.
no, I'm good. I'm good. Yeah, I've got. I'd like to have one story I'd like to tell. It has nothing to do with, well, it has to do with photography. Yes, a great,
Please tell me.
a great gray owl. Beautiful bird, pretty rare around here. We're sort of the southern extreme here in Yellowstone Park of their habitat. They mostly live north of here in Canada and Alaska. We have a few around here, and they're a big bird. They're dimensionally the largest owl on North America. They're not the heaviest, but they're about 2 feet tall, and lots of feathers. Anyway, they're a crepuscular bird. So you have a diurnal bird, which is active in the daytime. You have a nocturnal bird, or animals that are active at night. And then you have a lot of animals that are what they call crepuscular, which means they feed and move in the morning and the evening, sleep at night, during the day. And so this was in October 1988. I know that because that's the year of the fires in Yellowstone. And so there was an area that had burned and burned the grass off, and their prey, the voles and the mice, were very vulnerable and visible because the grass was gone. So these three great gray owls spent a couple of weeks in this area around a place called Indian Creek. So every morning I'd get up in the dark and I'd drive down there and spend the day with these three great gray owls. And they got really tolerant of me. They have a similar way of making a living. So you have blue jays probably there. We generally are a little far north for blue jays, although global warming, they're starting to show up here because the habitat's getting a little more like what they like. But we have other ones like a Steller's jay that looks like a lot like a blue jay, very closely related. So anyway, there's groups of birds there's that act in different ways, different hunting styles and whatever. But raptors are probably the smartest, although as a group. But the corvids are considered the smartest group of birds. Ravens, crows. So there's one of my favorite. I'm a trivia guy. My head's full of all kinds of useless information. But groups of birds have different names, like crows are a murder of crows, and magpies, another corvid, is called a tidings of magpies. The ravens, which the main big black bird in Yellowstone, is an unkindness. It's like, I don't know why that's called an unkindness, but so I have one bad bird joke. So one crow is a crow. Three or more crows is a murder. So two crows is attempted murder.
That's not a bad joke at all. I really liked that. Oh man, that's great.
So I've made up a few myself. So a group of photographers, I call them a clique.
That's good. Oh man, I love corvids. I see the African pied crow when I go to South Africa.
Right.
It's really cool. It has like a tuxedo kind of look, like it's white and black up there.
Yep.
Yeah, and ravens, I see them around New York a bit. They're huge.
Yeah, they're
right?
big. Yeah, they're bigger. They're about the size of a raven here, but they have this beautiful white patches. Yeah.
Wow. Oh man, I've actually wanted to go to Yellowstone. I think most of my life I had never been.
Good.
For people who are going there for the first time, maybe you have some words for them or recommendations.
Um, if you can, take at least a week, and get up early in the morning, have breakfast later, or take it with you, and go out and away from the popular tourist places, stops like Old Faithful's pretty cool. Grand Prismatic Spring, nice place right here, are amazing. Spend some time there, but go out into the boondocks, find a pullout, get out of the car, walk about a half a mile or even 300 yards away from the road, and just sit down. And you will not regret it. It'll change your life just by watching what goes on. I mean, you're going to see birds around you. That's one of the things I like about birds. They're generally everywhere, and it's some kind of bird moving around someplace, and then and listen, and just absorb it. Turn off electronic devices. That's easy for me because I don't own a cell phone, so I don't have to worry about that. But and spend some time near water. That's going to give you a certain kind of wildlife experience. Get out in the grasslands, get into some of the forested areas. Hike farther you can. I mean, there's about 1,000 miles of maintained trails in Yellowstone. So you can do, a 2-week backpacking trip without any trouble, and just make a loop someplace. And it's, it's a good place to go buy a coffee mug and a T-shirt, but the best experience is going to be connecting with the wildness of the place, and ultimately that's why I think that's most of the attraction. I think that's your attraction, is to touch this wildness that we all need, whether we acknowledge it or not. And so if you can just calm down and learn.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Well, I am so grateful, Tom, that I really enjoyed this time with you.
Thank you.
I learned a ton, and I just am really I'm given some like hope and inspiration. Like hearing somebody speak with such fondness and care for the earth and the wildlife is just really beautiful. You don't hear it every day. Like here around the cities, like we see litter, we see trash, we see and it's horrible, and we're so in these cities and in these suburbs that I just know that somehow we're missing something.
Yep.
Like we need to get out there. I think it's really part of the human experiences.
Mm-hmm.
If you can, to really get out there in the wild.
Yep.
So.
Yep.